Hello everybody and welcome to the third of the Players Lottery's affiliate webinars. My name is Sam Brown, Marketing Director here at the Players Lottery. This week we'd like to start off by telling you about our exciting new email marketing solution, eMarsis. I'll be taking you through some of the plan retention streams to show you exactly how our new tools will dramatically change the customer experience and improve conversion to ticket sales. We'll then give you a sneak preview of our newly upgraded website design and some of the added features we've created just in time for our launch. Hopefully this will spark some good questions for us to answer in the third Q&A video early next week. As you'll hopefully be aware from last Friday's newsletter, we've signed an industry-leading e-marketing solutions company called eMarsis. eMarsis uses state-of-the-art technology to deliver real-time email communications based on customer behaviour and their interaction with the Players Lottery website. They boast over 800 clients, including the likes of eBay, Vodafone, Volvo and many other major blue-chip companies. And they also set the pace for having the best delivery rates for email communications possible. Using their email content management system, we'll be utilising an all-in-one product allowing us to send, deliver and analyse every email a customer will receive. Now let's take a look at exactly how this might work. The first example here breaks down the registration and welcome process. As you can see, it's broken into a number of different programs and 7 stages in all, which we hope will result in a happy active customer. Include the registration form process, the confirmation of a player's email, and their subsequent login to the website. Once the account is verified, the player will then go through a series of communications introducing the ticket purchasing, share the wealth program, joining groups and syndicates, and finally setting up groups and syndicates. At this point, the player will have had a full education process on the basics of our product and will move into our active player program. Each of these programs is then broken down into a web of possibilities, using actions such as yes-no scenarios to enable us to segment and track a player's actions, determining which communication they should receive next. Let's take a look at the first stage as an example, the completion of the registration form. In the first stage, the system asks the question as to whether the player has completed their registration form. If the answer to this question is yes, the player has swiftly moved on to the next stage, confirming their email. However, if the answer is no, the system will then initiate a live chat session with one of our customer support representatives. Here, the customer services representative will help them through the registration process. If this is not enough to resolve the issue and the form remains incomplete, the customer moves to the next stage of the cycle. In the next stage of the cycle, the system waits briefly for a set period of time, so the player doesn't feel overwhelmed by communications, before automatically sending out an email to invite the player to complete the registration form again, informing the player of the benefits of doing so. In these examples, every time you see a stopwatch, this indicates that there will be a time frame in which eMarsis have advised us is the most appropriate time frame to ensure maximised results and a high quality customer experience. Now let's assume the customer has been through the registration form, subsequently confirmed their email and have logged into our site for the first time. The player now enters a welcome process where they're educated in the core parts of the business, beginning with the buy ticket stage. This time, again, the system will be tracking the customer's actions on the website, primarily to see whether they have bought a ticket or not. It will then enter a process of 3 emails which encourage the player to purchase tickets, thus moving to the next stage of the program. It's worth pointing out here, the customer will only receive 3 emails if they haven't responded to email 1 and email 2. At each stage, the system checks to see whether a ticket purchase has been made. If a ticket purchase has been made, after email 1 for example, emails 2 and 3 will be ignored as the player moves automatically through to the next stage of the program. If a player moves all the way through this buy ticket program and is then yet to purchase a ticket, the system will automatically flag the player as a registered account yet to purchase a ticket. This flag will be important further in the program, as it will identify the type of player and enable us to further target our active email communications. At each stage of the process, the system is learning about the player, marking them in the database, and giving us valuable insight to ensure that all the individual needs and requirements of the customers are met by both the communications and the product itself. Now let's assume in the final example, the customer has gone through the buy ticket education process. At this point in time, we know that the customer has either purchased a ticket or they will have been adequately communicated the benefits of doing so. The next stage in the program takes them to share the wealth, where the system again sends a series of triggered emails prompting the player to share the wealth by inviting their friends, family and so on to the program. As this too is an important part of our business model and an important part of the education process, the player will experience a very similar contact strategy, resulting with them setting up and starting their Share the Wealth network. All the while, the communications they receive will be unique and targeted and will represent their actions so far on the Players Lottery website. All in all, the system will ensure that we deliver the ultimate educational program to each of our players in a professional and attractive manner, and making the experience personal to their behaviours within the Players Lottery website. We hope that this creates an enjoyable and relaxed introduction to our business without the hard sell. Now let's have a look at our new eye-catching website design and some of the added features that we've created for the website for launch. Some of you will have seen this in last week's newsletter, but I'd like to take this opportunity to talk you through exactly how and why we've made the changes we have to the homepage designs. One thing that you'll hopefully notice immediately from the new homepage is it's much more consistent in terms of its design and feel. We've stuck to a very specific colour palette and used these colours to best indicate the actions which we'd like the player to commit. Hopefully you'll see from this design that whilst most of the elements of the page are black, blue and gold, the one thing we want the customer to do, which is to join now and create an account, are both highlighted in green on the page and really stand out versus the rest of the content. In addition, we've used the background and the globe to draw the customer's eye right into the centre of the screen, where the customer will see not only the headline jackpot amount of 10 million euros, but also will be prompted to join now. One of the other interesting elements to all of our new homepage designs are that they've been optimized for the maximum conversion rate. The way in which we do this is to only provide a small number of actions on each of our sales pages, therefore not distracting customers with multiple messages. I'd also now like to briefly show you some of the developments we've made to the internal sections of the website. Now on screen you'll see examples of the ticket purchasing page, the Share the Wealth page and the Lottery Clubs page. Each of these pages has been optimized for sales in the same way as the home page. This means as an affiliate you'll have a number of different landing pages to send your players. For example, if your particular business is lottery syndication, then you could send your players to the Lottery Club sales page rather than directly to our home page. Each of the pages, like the home page, has been optimized for full conversion, prompting the player to the most obvious action in the center of the screen. This should give a consistent feel to the navigation and coach the player on the action they need to commit. Again, whether it's on site or on affiliate sites or in any other marketing media, this look and feel will remain consistent throughout everything we do, giving the Players Lottery a very distinct look and feel and an obvious brand. So that concludes the two core elements of today's third affiliate webinar. As usual, we'll be back early next week to answer any questions that you may have on the content of today's webinar or in general on any other topics. Please send any questions you have to affiliates@theplayerslottery.com, and we look forward to answering them early next week. Thank you for listening.